Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Hybrid Fitness Report. My name is Paul Reynolds, and today we have 3 interviews for you. We also have 3 interviews for you next week. In today's episode, I'm interviewing Michael O'Donnell and Zayd Johar, and Jude is interviewing Alex Sodje. Michael O'Donnell, a man with a sub-58 Hyrox Pro PR, a new company selling a Hyrox race accessory, and a wife who runs much further than he does. Then I talked to Zayd Johar, a man with great self-deprecating wit and his tongue firmly in his cheek when he refers to himself and me as elite hybrid athletes. He's also a man who would rather be kicked repeatedly in the face doing an MMA workout than go on a single long run. And finally, Jude talks with Alex Sodje, previously a trialist at Charlton Athletic Football Club, and now a big Hyrox man who used to go all in on the ski erg on a major fly and die, but is now pacing himself as he gets quicker and quicker, heading towards a sub 1 hour. Before those interviews, we have a couple of notices. First of all, I want to talk to you very briefly about the Gauntlet Fitness Race. You can find them on Official Gauntlet UK. That's Official Gauntlet UK, or search for the Gauntlet Fitness Race on Instagram. It's a UK functional fitness race combining 4 1-kilometer runs. So those of you who think 8 or 10 or 12 sets of running is overdoing it a bit, it is a 4-kilometer runs with 8 stations. You've got a lot of the old favorites: sleds, row, bike, lunges, ski, burpee, broad jumps, and also a weight over a hurdle station. So again, very much a functional fitness race, end of the hybrid fitness racing scale. They have an event in Glasgow coming up, but that's sold out. So the one that we've got notification for you about is the 9th and 10th of May at the Alliance Stadium in London. So Twickers, for those of us of a certain age. That's the 9th and 10th of May at Twickenham in West London for the Gauntlet Fitness Race. And if you'd like to get 50% off your race entry fee, you can go on to their website linked through Instagram and use code HFRTW26. That's HFRTW26 for 50% off your race fee. And then, of course, as always, we would like to thank Waddleat. Hybrid Fitness Report is sponsored by Waddleat, a UK-based sports clothing company founded by an Ironman athlete, designed for functional fitness, hybrid and endurance sports, ready for training and race day. If you need brand name performance and quality from your clothing without brand name markups in price, you need Waddleat. For free delivery on all UK orders over £50 and to see their autumn-winter range, go to waddleat.co.uk. That's waddleat.co.uk, WODLETE.co.uk today. Use code HFRPOD20, HFRPOD20 at checkout for 20% off your order. So now again, welcome to the show. Welcome to this episode number 20. And first of all, we get into it with Michael O'Donnell. Enjoy the interview. Michael O'Donnell, welcome to Hybrid Fitness Report.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. So Michael is Jude's regular doubles partner for Hyrox Pro doubles. They both raced with other guys. Well, Jude's only done it once. You've done 1 or 2 races, not with Jude, but this seems to be the pairing.
One pro, and then I done an open last week. It was supposed to be with Jude, but he flew off, so I had to find someone else. But his lost because we ended up breaking the age group world record. So
yeah, Jude missed out on that. Or he didn't miss out because maybe you wouldn't have set the age group record if he was with you. Maybe he'd have slowed you down.
Nah, I'm sure I would have.
So, Michael, could you tell us a bit about your day job and how do you get into Hyrox?
Yeah, so I'm still currently serving in the Royal Navy. I'm an engineer in the Navy, particularly on submarines, which always interests people. Can't go too much in detail about it just because of the nature of the job, but basically fix things on submarines. That's the easiest way to put it. But that's balanced around my training at the minute. Treats it well because it's kind of shift work, so I got plenty of time to train still. It's just I kind of got to plan it out carefully, and then I'll get everything in. I got into Hyrox when I was actually on a Navy course down in Portsmouth. It was one of the best Hyrox gyms I think in the country, and I just started training there, training with everyone who's there, kind of like-minded. They're all decent athletes, and I think when you're training with people like that, it pushes you to a next level, and you don't realise kind of how good you get quite quick. And then it
Right.
came to my first, second race, and I was kind of dropping decent times, and then come last season, I hit my first podium in my first race, and then it kind of just went from there. Got the sub 60 Pro, which everyone dreams of, and which
Yeah.
now seems to be pretty standard at the level that we're at now. But that's old news. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. I've got a background in. I used to play football when I was younger, but not at a serious level.
What
I've just
position?
always been. I was a centre midfielder.
Nice.
Yeah.
The engine.
I really enjoy playing football, and I played it my whole childhood. I knew I was never gonna make it, and I knew I was never gonna be my job, but just enjoyed it. And I suppose that's always gonna have a baseline compared to doing nothing when you're younger. But I think when I do something, I do it properly, and I've done Hyrox properly, and it's paid off. So
I was
I'm
going to say
gonna
you're doing Hyrox very properly. So your current PB is 58 what in the pros?
57,
Oh,
54 it
blimey.
was in London.
I'm a bit rude already. Okay.
It was
57, 54 pro singles.
yeah.
And your best pro doubles time is currently what?
With Jude is 53 and 14 seconds, I believe it was.
Right.
That was in London last year.
I was saying that's a long time ago.
Start of
You guys are due to beat that.
yeah, without doubt. That was with a minute's worth of burpee penalties, if you can remember. So
Yes.
really, that was
Yes.
probably a low 52, and even then, we've both came on so much since then. So
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we're
So
lucky.
basically, it's a low 52. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think come our next race, which will be in Glasgow, which is where we hope to qualify for Worlds. That'll be hopefully starting with a 51 at least. I think that will be the goal.
That will definitely go. I mean, yeah, you're both obviously fit. Your times have been tumbling pretty quickly in singles and doubles, right?
Yeah. So I know for a fact when we next race together, both our training's gonna come together, and we just raced well. I think we've only raced twice. I think in the actual race together. So
Really, it's
um,
just London and the Worlds.
we
No,
didn't race one.
you didn't do the Worlds because
Which
you
I still don't understand why we didn't. But we didn't. But we will be this year. We will be this year, 100%. Especially
you better.
the introduction of the new age group, essentially, which gives us a good chance of being age group world champs, which would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome, and hopefully they keep the races far enough apart that you can at least take a couple of energy gels before the next race.
No. I think last in Chicago, I think it was a day in between, which is kind of more than enough. Obviously, the longer the better, but when you're in the same place racing on the same weekend, it's always going to be close together. But solos
Yeah.
will be first. I imagine Jude will say the same. That's the priority. But then doubles a couple of days later will be the goal to kind of podium for the age group world champions, I guess.
Well, hopefully at the Worlds in the singles, we'll see you both racing, literally next to each other again, except
Yeah.
6 minutes ahead of what happened to the both of you in Chicago.
Yeah. So
Which
still no
was
one knows what happened in Chicago.
it happened to the both of you exactly the same, and it was clearly a massive anomaly that was happening to the doubles partners at the same time. And you're going, hang on, they're next to each other, but no, they're both having this problem. Whatever this problem is,
Yeah. I still haven't figured it out. I just put that down to a bit of a one-off, I guess. I've not really had
yeah.
a race like it, but yeah.
So you're doing Hyrox and half marathons. You're also signed up for the London Marathon,
Yeah, I just got that confirmation. I got a good for age place last
right?
week
Which is awesome.
from my Amsterdam marathon a few months ago. So I'll probably do a big block of training of that. It's a good time. It's around April, so kind of between Worlds and New Year. That'll be my goal up till, and then once I finish that, after that I'll focus on Hyrox Worlds.
And so you qualifying by being quick for the London Marathon is almost as impressive as your wife Erin being an ultra marathoner, right?
Yeah, 100k a few months ago.
That's
I
nuts.
can't comprehend it. I personally, I mean, I don't get us wrong. I would love to try it one day, but well, when you're in your long runs on a weekend, you're like, oh, 30k to do today, and then I'm like, should have done that another 2 times and a bit more. But she's just signed up for our first 100 miler next year, so she's got that to look forward
Where?
to
Where? When?
in Reading. So it's a four route kind of cross. So there's one centre point, and it's 4 25-mile out and backs. So you start in the centre and then you go out back, out back, out back, out back.
Oh my
100
gosh, that
miles.
sounds horrendous.
Yeah.
Well, power to it.
Got a few more 100Ks as well this year, but that's the kind of the big one, the 100 miler, which is
That's incredible.
pretty big.
And so presumably you'll be talking about that on your YouTube channel alongside your Hyrox marathon training.
Yeah, so that's just kind of started. We've always kind of done videos for our own personal keeping, rather than just taking photos when you go somewhere. We've got a little camera and we take it with us. And then after London a few weeks ago, decided to post them, and it went really well. Got a few thousand views and people asking for more. So yeah, it's a good way of documenting everything.
Cool. And what's your channel called?
It's just Michael and Erin O'Donnell. So,
Michael and Erin O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Cool. A couple more things. Then, what are you hoping for this season?
Yeah, so I kind of hit the goal of time-wise for Hyrox, and I've already done that. So I wanted a 58, and I've managed a sub 58 already.
Gone under that, yeah.
Yeah. So for Hyrox, I don't necessarily have a time. I think it's going to be a case of placing. That was my main goal this year, was to place in a race, rather than to hit a certain time. We both know courses are a little bit uneven. Even London, I know, was slightly quick. Not Berlin quick, but it was quick, and I know that in reality, it's on any other course, it's probably not 57. But I can't do anything about that.
But it's your time, so you'll take it.
I can't control that. Doubles wise, me and Jude probably want to do a 51, possibly a 50-minute something.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
And then podium at Worlds, I think, has got to be a goal, especially for our age group. I don't think there's many double partners out there who would struggle to compete against. Obviously, come the time of the race, it might be different, but at the moment, I think we'll definitely be up there. Same for solos, like just improve on Chicago last year. It kind of depends on who's racing, but really we've both got to be pushing to do well. And then outside of Hyrox, marathon, London Marathon, I'm going to go for a sub 240. I got 244 in Amsterdam. So, and that was my first real attempt at the marathon. So, with a full block of training, I think 239 would look quite nice for the marathon. So that's
that would be incredible. That's kind of a ridiculous time for someone who's not a marathoner. I mean, I assume you self-identify as a hybrid athlete more than a marathoner, right?
I think I'm probably 70% more of a runner than a hybrid athlete, because I'm not particularly strong and I don't have the chest like you to look like a hybrid athlete. But yeah, I'm probably more on the running side. But because
you definitely look like a hybrid athlete to me. But okay, I'll take your word for it.
Not quite as much as Jude. I'll give Jude that one.
No, I mean, I do like watching the two of you, because you do seem to kind of mesh together unusually well. Because although you have slightly different strength, as you say, you're a bit more of a pure runner, and he's a bit more of a pure strength guy. But
yeah, I think
you do work very well together, I think.
Yeah, I think we are similar in terms of Hyrox races. We don't go out hot. We don't run the fastest split times within the Hyrox compared to others. But because we are similar individually, that is key for doubles, in my opinion, because if you've got someone who's really good at running and then someone who's really good at stations, it just won't work all together, because
it's hard.
It doesn't go hand in hand. You need to be strong in the same areas to have a fast doubles race, which I think we are. Obviously, like you said, slightly different. Jude's slightly better at stations, I'm slightly better running, but not enough to make a big difference in our double partnership.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the two of you at Stockholm. So before we close up, could you tell us a bit about your side project?
Yeah, I've had a few side projects in my time, but after last year, watching everyone running around wearing gardening gloves, Hyrox, I decided there is definitely a business opportunity here. So I went out my way to customize what is essentially an American football glove. Rich Ryan and a few other Elite 15 have mentioned how the best glove for Hyrox is I think it's a wide receiver or something in American football. I'm not too sure about the sport, but they said they're the best type of gloves. So contacted the manufacturer who makes them, adjusted it slightly to fit into Hyrox, so easy to get on, easy to get off when you don't need them. and essentially made a Hyrox glove. A couple of people have replicated it in a way. They're all slightly different, but going well. We've sold the other 300 pairs now. So it was good watching London the other week, seeing lots of people wearing them, and then this week
And
just
Elite
gone.
15, yeah.
I see multiple Elite 15 wearing them, which is pretty
Is it
cool.
Mora from the Elite 15 women's singles, and who else is wearing them?
Fabian from the doubles,
Eisenhower. Yeah.
and Mark Dean had them as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty.
I liked your little reply to Eisenhower. So they qualified for Worlds by about zero point 0.1
No
of a
point.
second, and you were claiming that one, I think, with some
Yeah, that was me.
justification.
That was all the glove. I
And so,
actually asked him to spread them across the Elite 15, but he said he's not doing it because it's his secret now. It's his. He's not telling
okay,
anyone
so
else.
we won't mention any more about high gloves, and we won't mention the website where people can buy them.
Yeah,
hygloves.com.
yeah,
For the gloves that you shouldn't get if you're racing Michael Eisenhower because he won't appreciate it.
yeah, exactly.
Right,
The advantage.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks very much, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for your time. And you can find Michael at Michael, that's Michael _ODONNEL, Michael _O'Donnell on Instagram. And now onto my interview with Zayd Johar. So Zayd Johar, welcome to Hybrid Fitness Report.
Appreciate it. I've been here since the beginning.
Good man, good man.
First viewer. Yeah.
So I wanted to chat to you as one of Jude's closest buds to try and understand why it is that you got into hybrid fitness, what you were doing before, I guess would be the first thing. What was because you weren't doing nothing in the realm of sport, and I know your dad's a massive cyclist or has been a massive cyclist. So what were you doing, and how did you get distracted by hybrid fitness?
Well, originally it was just gym. Me and Jude were just going to a gym training, strength training. That was it. Obviously, he was doing cardio and rowing at the same time, but I was an advocate against cardio. I hated cardio, and I said, "You never catch me dead on a run." And I think I'd rather run off a cliff than go on a long run.
That's still true, isn't it?
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's still true. However, we do have London Marathon coming up, which is an interesting curve.
More of that in a
Say.
minute, but that was
Yeah. So Jude obviously got very big into Hyrox. When was his first one? His first one was Glasgow. I think it was around April 24 time.
Yeah.
I think he won or podiumed.
He definitely
in his age
podium.
group.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you've got to come up. You've got to see this. You'd love it. You have to do one with me." So November, we then went to Manchester, and he got 102.48 in Manchester, which was really impressive, and it was a sick environment. I was like, "Yeah, I definitely want to get into this." And I didn't. I procrastinated for a little bit longer until his next event in Manchester, which was a doubles with Michael, I believe.
Right.
And it was just after we had gone to the event, he signed in, registered, and went gift shopping, which is something that we do as a tradition. I was like, if I don't book a ticket now, I'm never going to book a ticket. And I was like, come with us to Poland because you and him were going Poland. He was like, come with us and you have to do an event in Poland. I was like, okay, cool. Came back to the hotel, gave you a call, we booked the tickets, and that was it. That's when I started training for Hyrox. It was also very much a case of Jude's a very busy person. He's working a full-time job and he trains 18 hours a week.
Mm.
If you want to see him, it's in the gym.
Yeah.
So you can catch up whilst running on a treadmill, but that's pretty much how you catch up with Jude.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's kind of what got me into Hyrox.
Cool. And so you did doubles with Jude in Poland. So how did you find that? I mean, I'm quite glad I did the singles first because it means I could pace the whole thing according to my own inadequacies, whereas you were forced to pace it according to what Jude wanted you to do, which is very different.
I think I have two pictures which summarize the event entirely, which was us getting onto the ski erg, me being shocked at Jude's pace and being like, oh my, look how fast he's going. And then 5 seconds later, the shock horror of realizing I'm about to go up. And this is how the entire race is going to pan out, which is exactly how it was. It was absolute hell. The rock zone was hell. Jude was throwing water on me to get me to run. I really could not be asked. He said we'll take the farmer carries easy, and he sprinted off quicker.
That was funny, though. That was very, very funny. There's a bit of footage of as Jude goes around the corner, it looks like Zayd is reaching to try and grab hold of him. And the
I
funny thing
was.
was,
I'm not
you
going to
were.
deny it. I was trying to slow him down.
So it might have worked if only you could
I
have
was
reached
think,
him.
yeah, I was thinking of hopping on his back, catching a ride.
Well, yeah. When I finally end up doing doubles with him, it may in fact come to that.
Yeah, I
So,
was.
having been put through, as you put it, hell during doubles with Jude, then naturally you decided the next step was to sign up for the relay with me and Jude and my dad.
Yeah, so I was kind of forced into that. Really, I didn't really have much of a choice. Jude was like, "You're doing the relay." I was like, "All right."
So this entire interview is basically a hostage interview, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
With
That's
Jude, it's
great.
very much a hostage situation. I very much enjoyed my time in London, and I very much enjoyed the relay. Actually, no, I remember I hated it.
That's another recurring theme, but carry on.
I just because I hate moving. I really hate moving, and I hate moving at speed. I'm not lazy. I just hate having my heart rate above 100. So I remember the first kilometer, the first 100 meters felt amazing, and then I passed Rachel, and she was like, "Come on, Zayn." I was like, "I'm going. This is as fast as I can go." But I think that was a 4:07, which I'm quite happy with. And
Yep,
then
as you
the
should be,
sled
by the way.
the sled pull was I might have gassed myself going into the sled pool, and also everyone around me was 6'4" and massive. But really and truly, we weren't going to win. I don't think.
No, we weren't. The entire game was don't be last, and we weren't. We
Exactly.
were not last in the relay. I think we're all justly proud of that fact. So okay, so you've had a deeply unpleasant experience in Warsaw doing doubles with Jude. You've also had a
Yeah.
deeply unpleasant experience doing relay with me and Jude and my dad in London,
Mm.
and naturally, therefore, you signed up for more.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a quote about toughness making a better man or something, or hardship, or something about yeah. Could you help me out here? I'm lost for
Uh,
words.
any quote that you want to give about something that you've done making you a better man, I'm not going to help you with that. I think it's more of a psychological malfunction going on here. Things you find deeply unpleasant, you then immediately sign up to spend more money on.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I like the clothes. It's also a
Like,
fun
like
event.
in terms of signing up for things you find unpleasant and cost a lot of money, that takes me neatly on to your staggering decision to sign up for the London Marathon. What was that all about?
That was
Weakness?
yeah, it was a moment of weakness. I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do it. I'm not going to be young again. Might as well do it whilst I'm somewhat a hybrid athlete or an elite hybrid athlete, like the rest of us on this podcast. Um, I was like, yeah, I can do one. Why not?
I just don't feel like the tongue in cheekness transmits strongly enough when you say that. I kind of feel like we need to double down on how tongue in cheek that was. Because when you say that to me, I kind of go, yeah, you and me, elite hybrid athletes, and then everyone else is gonna be like, are you though? And they'll look at my time and your time and they'll go, are they though?
Okay, for reference, my 5K PB is everyone else's zone 2 run.
There we go. And
Yeah.
mine is
So,
worse. So yeah. So just to say, the
yeah.
tongue is firmly in the cheek when Zayd says, with a straight face, repeatedly, I'm an elite hybrid athlete. So okay, having established you are in fact an elite hybrid athlete, you signed up for the
Appreciate it.
London Marathon because you'd
Yeah.
always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of the thing is, you know how you have to apply and wait to see
Yep.
if you could get in. So
Yep.
I applied for a charity, Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. Great charity, helped my family a lot. And I was like, you know what? If I get in, I get in. If not, it's not the end of the world. I probably didn't want to do it in the first place. And I found out I'm doing it, so I'm like, great, okay. So I also have to raise money for the charity as well, which I need to start
Yes.
doing
A
sooner
lot of
rather than
money.
later.
A lot of money.
Because, okay, thank you, Paul.
Well,
Thank you.
maybe February. Don't leave it till March. Everyone starts blocking fundraisers in March because everyone's doing the London Marathon. So, pro tip: fundraise in February. There we
Okay.
go. You're welcome.
Yep.
And then, obviously, doing Hyroxes and signing up for London Marathon isn't enough for an elite hybrid athlete. So what you
Indeed.
really need to do is get your face smashed in, and that then led to your next decision, which was what?
Starting MMA.
Of course it did. What else would you
Yeah.
do? Why? Why?
Well, because I now have, I think, the endurance for it, thanks to Jude's Hyrox plans, Hyrox training, and all that stuff. Because
Mm.
I am an elite hybrid athlete. My mitochondria is,
I
the
don't know if you
powerhouse.
mentioned that before, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I had to slip it in some way or another.
yeah.
That is my go-to saying. during a race or whilst watching a race, it's mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I really think it helps push people forward. It helps me mentally during the race. Anyway, yeah, so I was like, I have the strength for it. I have the endurance for it. Why not? I think the only thing I'm lacking is technique, which can't be that hard to learn. 3 weeks in, I say it is very hard to learn after a couple head kicks and, dead legs and, me getting, yeah, apparently screaming to your coach, I don't consent doesn't help as you're getting brutally manhandled.
So you've got to mention what happened. So you just had a heavy leg day of training and gone and done some running this week. Then you rock
Mhm.
up to MMA training and you say what, and then what happens?
I say, please take it easy on the leg kicks. My legs are dead. I've just went on a run. I've just had a leg day. Coach over here is like, kick his legs out. Just take him out. I was like, right, thanks, coach. Really nice guy, by the way. He is actually. That's not sarcastic. He's a really lovely guy.
And they did kick your legs out.
Yeah,
And how did that make you feel, Zayd?
great. Actually, I loved it.
Yeah.
It somehow hurt less than the run. I think I'd rather that than the running, which says a lot.
Well, that's the thing that concerns me about your marathon aspirations is you'd rather have the living poop beaten out of you than go for a run longer than an hour.
I'm also, yeah, another reason why I'm running a marathon is so I can hopefully beat your time. Because I don't like the fact that you have a marathon above me. I don't like the fact that you hold that above me. Oh, I've run a marathon. I can do it in this time. I want to beat you. I'm sorry. That's why I ran a half marathon at like 11 o'clock at night, just so I can
Gee,
beat your time. Yeah.
but you didn't beat my time.
What was your time?
1:47:35.
Right. Okay. Cheers. Give me a couple months. I will.
Well, by the back end of your marathon training, I fully expect you to annihilate my time, by the way,
Yeah, I'd be embarrassed if I didn't.
given your superior mitochondrial status and all that.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm a unit, as they say. A jack of all trades and a master of all of them too. Well, at the
Completely
moment, it's a
legitimate.
jack of all trades, terrible at all of them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Considering, oh, yeah, we did. I did a race with Judy the other week, actually, November 16th. We had,
yes, survive the
what was,
eight.
yeah, that was hell. That was absolute hell. To be fair, I was ill. I was feeling rather poorly on the day, but that was genuine hell. I thought I was dying. It was hell. The thing is, Jude had to interview some people right after my race. So as I was dying, he was like, "All right, come here, hold the camera," and I was genuinely shaking. I was like, "I can't do this."
No.
Yeah, you might have seen the camera footage, which is probably why it's not been released. Just
That neatly brings us full circle, then, I think, Zaid, to you were perfectly content in your life. And then, in order to have a chat with your good friend Jude, you had to join him on a treadmill. And then it really all went south from there. I think that's basically the
yeah.
conclusion of all this.
Well, yeah, I was also going through quite a rough breakup, and I was involved in a lot of tomfoolery. So Jude was like, "Just sort your life out. Come on, join." Because I was also peak bulk, so I was a lot bigger than before. And he was like,
Right.
"Listen, you need something to look forward to, and to work towards. Do a Hyrox with me," and that is how Poland
There we go.
started.
There we
Yeah,
go. So
but
we actually have a positive ending then to our conversation that doing a high rocks and a marathon and an A, but definitely the high rocks bit is giving you some good focus, right?
yeah, it's giving you it gives you direction,
Cool.
and it's
Well, there
also
we go then.
yeah, I enjoy being fitter. I can walk up 2 flights of stairs without being out of breath, like all the
That's
other
pretty
elite
awesome.
athletes on this podcast. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Sometimes I think there's a gap between us.
Yay
Yeah.
us! Yay us!
Yeah. Because I was looking at Michael's half marathon times, and I was like, that's absolutely insane. I can run at like 12K in that time, and that's pushing it.
Yeah,
We really
I
are
think I
elites,
think I
aren't
think
we?
I think you need to keep comparing yourself to me and stop looking at Jude and Michael's times of anything, Zaid,
Yeah,
and
that's
feel
the
a
thing.
lot better about yourself.
They look so impressive while racing. Like Jude's 102.48 in Manchester did not look hard at all.
No,
So when me and Jude did our doubles together, I was like, surely we can get like 105. No, 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 no. It's hell. It was hell. It was hell.
that's the thing. You kind of have to do one to realize how difficult it is, right? because
Yeah, and
it
yeah,
does look, a lot of those guys do make it look pretty straightforward. And then you think, oh, a couple of 24 kilo kettlebells, how hard can that be? And it turns out quite easy until either you have to move or B, you've been doing something else for the previous hour, like
yeah.
running all the time. So yeah. Okay. Well, that's been fab. Really appreciate your time, Zayd, and thank you for sharing us your journey of, I don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it, but it's impressive. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
It's
If
been
you could,
amazing. Cool.
fab.
Perfect. Great catching up.
Cheers. You can find Zayd at underscore ZAYD.03. That's underscore ZAYD.03 on Instagram. And now on to Jude's interview with Alex Sodje.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Alex Sodje. We kind of came into contact on Instagram. We saw each other doing some Hyrox stuff, some specific stuff, and we were just shooting messages over. And then one day we sort of met up in the gym and we did a challenge that I'll get into in a little second. But yeah, so Alex, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Pleasure to be here. And yeah, I'm excited. Like you said, Jude, good friend of mine, obviously, known each other in the Hyrox scene. And yeah, it's all about, linking up together and, achieving greatness.
Of course. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We just got a couple questions for you today. So first, I just want to get into is sort of what's your sporting background? So obviously, you said that we met in sort of the Hyrox scene. This has only been around for a couple of years that we've been involved in it anyway. So what were you doing before that?
Yeah, so my name's Alex for the guests listening. I'm Alex, also known as Big Man by Ep20. And my sporting background has been predominantly football as I was growing up. So obviously I started playing it when I was 5. And then from then on, just moved to my local team at like 8, 9, played good football up until 12 I got scouted by Chance. I went to academy there for 6 months.
Oh,
Then obviously didn't work out. And then I went back to my old club, just started playing, won the league there for under 14s. And then since then, I've just been kind of focused on gym, like just to get stronger as you grow up 16, 17. And then now currently playing football still, Saturday football. But obviously I changed into a more hybrid in 2023 I think I got bored of gym. So I just wanted to do running and obviously Hyrox and, you know how it goes now.
yeah, yeah. So that's interesting because when I first saw you on Instagram, one of the first things I noticed was your physique. But I also noticed that if you look back on your Instagram or you posted like a throwback thing, that you weren't always in shape. So sort of how did that
Yeah.
sort of transformation, when did that happen?
Yeah, so in obviously this COVID happened. That's when content started to happen. I wanted to like post content and stuff, but obviously something happened in the year of 2020, and that kind of put to a halt. And then I just started to like eat, just relax. I took that year as my off year. I've been gym since I was 14. I wanted to just relax and chill. Then obviously you go uni now, you go college, and you wanted to start looking presentable in these type of environments. So then I started going back to gym, my routine, my own transformation. And then obviously once you get so worked up in the gym, you want to do something else. So I decided to do what I can work on, what I'm good at, which is running. And then obviously hybrid came into the picture later on.
No, awesome. Because, yeah, I mean, it's not like, because you obviously have some really good genetics, but you weren't always like in the shape that you are now. So it clearly took a lot of effort to sort of get to where you are now. So in terms of like
100%.
currently, you said 2023 you started training hybrid. So what is like your schedule, like say weekly schedule of training look like now?
Our schedule now is obviously running weekly, probably 3-4 times a week with at least one long run and one interval. And then hybrid training will be 3 to 4 times a week, but then obviously 1 or 2 of them sessions would be double sessions. So either I run in the morning and I do training in the evening or vice versa. And I try to add at least a strength session during my hybrid training because you have to maintain your strength and, to keep your body, in check.
So yeah, so our backgrounds are very similar in that I played football for like 15 years, but alongside that, I was big into the gym before I found this whole hybrid thing. So I think me and you, in terms of Hyrox athletes, we're on the stronger side. And so whilst a lot of people who are in triathlon came here, they don't need to touch on that sort of, in quotations, aerobic base. as much as we might do, but then at the same time, we might not have to touch the weights room to maintain what we have or be as strong as we are than they. So sort of what takes the backseat for us is what we're already way better at, which are the weights, and then what we need to sort of work on. Although you have more of a background in running than I do, I sort of need a huge focus on running because for me that's super new. So that's interesting that now you were gymming almost every day, and now you're saying what strength training is once, twice a week?
Yeah, so even with the running and the whole like fitness, when I was 12, I used to do rowing in school. So the top two would go represent their school, like obviously in front of the other schools. And what it was 90 students in that year. So like let's say year 8, but it will be split into 30. So 30 students would go into the rowing machines. In year 7, I think I came 5th. Year 8, I came 4th out of the 30 section boys. And what it was the top 3 get to represent their school or, you know, go nationals basically, essentially. But obviously I wasn't rowing like that. My background at the time was just football, bit of gym and a bit of running on sports day or whatever it was. But yeah, I have been sporty since I was young. I don't know if it's because my uncles played pro, which made me like wanted to the inspiration just to get and be energetic, be about. But that played a part. But you know, I wouldn't have it any other way because it's made me who I am today.
So quickly on those genetics, who was your uncle and what did he do?
So I had 3 uncles. One's called Akpa Sodje, one's called Sam Sodje, one's called Ife Sodje. They've all played pro football, obviously. One's represented Nigeria in the 2002 World Cup, and the others, represented Nigeria as well, and also played like in the Premier League, Championship, other clubs around UK, and they inspired me because obviously, like growing up, to have someone that you can see on TV or just about, you know, is it's a blessing. Sam played for like Watford, played for Charlton, played for West Brom, played for Reading. Ife obviously played for Nigeria. He played against Ronaldo, Rooney when he was at I think Sheffield Wednesday, I believe. Simon Akpa played for Charlton. So at the time when I was at Charlton, when I was like 11, 12, they were obviously, I think, their season before. So just kind of, they already knew who I was in terms of uncles.
Yeah, it's a high bar. I knew your uncles, like, I remember you told me a while ago they represented Nigeria, but I didn't know they played for those Prem clubs. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So on top of that, what are sort of your top 3 sporting accomplishments? Because I know you've got a pretty good marathon time. I know you've got a decent Hyrox time and all this stuff. So what would you say if you had to give your 3 biggest sporting accomplishments, anything, whether it's a 1K PR in something or anything, what would you say?
Okay. I'll say when I was 14, I played for Greenwich Borough. That's like my local good, like a non-league team. Played for Greenwich Borough. We won the league. Last game of the season, we had to win or draw against Bromley. We drew that game 2-2. Ended up winning the league. I was captain for that team. And so that's one. Second, I would put now it seems all right, but back then it was a big accomplishment. I'll say Sports Day, winning the 1500 and 800 meters.
Yes.
Which was really ideal. Common, you know, like sports. School was good, but I like sports. So if I'm gonna go Sports Day, I need to come back with, you know.
But if you're winning Sports Day as a kid, everyone loves you. That's the peak of sort of high school experience is winning 100% Sports Day.
Bragging rights, especially.
Exactly.
You know, you're set for a couple PE sessions. You can miss out. And I'll say recently, I'll probably say. In Hyrox, I'll probably say the ski station. Like I've had success last season, and obviously that's good. So I'll just say the ski station because when I went to Scotland, I went there not knowing if I was decent at stations, but I didn't know I was that good at a ski station. So, and the fact that I've done it again in London, which obviously you was in a race, so you would know, which means it wasn't a fluke because that's what was playing in my mind. Like I knew that. Yes, I came first in the ski, this and that, but if I can't do it again or be amongst it again, then it's basically a fluke. So the fact that I've done it in a different country, you know, it's a blessing again. So yeah, I'm happy with that achievement so far.
So just a little bit of background on that ski thing. just in case like some people aren't aware. In Hyrox, when you look at your results, every single station and every run is ranked in your division. So I think you were doing whether it was the Open or the Pro against every male pro athlete or every male Open athlete, of which Open there's usually around 1,200 nowadays people. You can see where in those 1,200 people you rank. And then Alex, you said that you won what, three? You came first in three separate occasions
Two,
on the ski erg.
two.
Two,
The
two.
third one I
And
came third.
yeah. What's your we're nicely tapering onto this bit. So one of the things that me and Alex did was, I think the first time we met up was he put out that he did some he won these two Hyroxes on the ski erg in inverted commas, because obviously Hyrox is a whole race, but he just that was his thing. Smash the ski erg, win it, finish with a decent time. And so I was like, yeah, all right, let's do a ski erg challenge, because I love the ergs. I was relatively new to ski erg, but I still love it. Like I'd been training with it for a few months. We met up. We did a 1K challenge. I put it on my Instagram. I think you put it somewhere. He beat me by, I think it was like point 0.1 of per 500 meter average. I still remember it to this day. It haunts me. What is your 1K PR?
Yeah. To be funny, yeah. Obviously, Hyrox there's many stations in Hyrox. Like I said before, when I was in school, I was doing rowing. So when I got introduced to Hyrox, the whole ski thing, I've been gym since I was 14. I've never touched a ski station. So I had to literally learn on the go on the ski how to do it. The form, even you taught me on the form that day. You said do the correct form, you engage your core, this and that, which I've been doing. And yeah, like I'm learning on the go, but obviously it's good to know that that's kind of one of my strongest stations, and it helps when it's the first, because you get to just relieve the stress and just focus on other things as well in the race.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was one of the weirdest things. Is I went there and I've done a few metrics events which are purely erg based. I've come second, I've come third. I'm quite good at ergs. I rode for an extended period of time as well. So I came into it. I didn't know I was going to win, but I thought I was going to win. I was like, this guy's good, but I think I got him. And then I saw his technique and I was like, the technique really is not that good. And that was the most surprising thing, is that with that, I won't lie, not great technique, he still beat me. I was like, there is so much potential for this guy when it comes to erg. So that's when I knew. I was like, okay, this guy's serious. This guy's serious.
Yeah, appreciate it. Likewise,
Yeah.
obviously your background is crazy in other sports as well, not just Hyrox. So yeah, I'm appreciating what you're doing, and especially because like me and you were probably heavyweights in the hybrid scene. So if you're doing it, then there's no reason why I can't do it. So that's what it's about.
I appreciate it. So, last two things. Penultimately, I don't know why you haven't mentioned this, because it's far more impressive than you seem to believe. What is your marathon time, and at what body weight, did you do it at?
So I ran a marathon at 3:05, and my body weight at the time was probably 97, I'll say.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, because that's round about where I am right now, and I haven't tried to run a marathon. I don't really want to run a marathon, but just that time is very impressive at this body weight, because it feels like we're carrying a lot.
Yeah, so I'm doing London in obviously in April, so obviously I want to get sub 3 in that, and I'm hopeful, because the one I done in Amsterdam was more so because my main vision was Hyrox London. I wanted to be in top tier condition in that. So with the marathon, I didn't run in carbon. I just ran in normal on cloud shoes, just trying to be consistent with the running. And obviously got a PB, came out with no injuries, which was good. So with London, I had 6 weeks to train. So this time round for London Marathon, I want to obviously be prepared more mentally, physically, and actually push myself in the later half of the run, and hopefully get that sub 3, which I'm on the road to doing. So yeah.
Awesome. So, last question. When it comes to Hyrox, it's sort of like a two-part question. What was your first impression and experience of Hyrox, and what was your time? And then also on the other side, what is your plan in, say, 5-10 years time with Hyrox?
Oh, 5-10 years time. That's a long haul. That's a long haul. Okay.
It is.
I'm gonna have to break that into 5 years a bit. Okay. Anyway, so the first part, obviously I told you I got into it by accident. I'll try and keep the story short. Long story short, I went gym that day. I went gym, then I done a 10K run. And then on my way home, I looked at my WhatsApp, my running page group, Run Pack, shout out Run Pack. I went in their WhatsApp and I saw a couple guys, well, one guy said, we need 3 guys for Hyrox. It's a 1K run and I'm going to do 2 stations. So two 1K runs, 2 stations. Like, okay, might as well. We done it now. We went there, done it. And then we got 1 hour 7 in a relay, which was quite good. Obviously, I never trained for it. I just went on the vibes and adrenaline rush, and we done our thing. We done well. Like some people that done it trained.
Which stations did you do?
I done the ski. My form, I've got a video for that. My form is terrible. If you want to insert it, whatever you can, but it's bad. Then obviously the runs were decent. I think 4:30 pace, or
Nice.
Yeah, so we got 1 hour 7, which was good. Obviously, us Trey, one of the guys that was doing it as well, he said if we done it now, we'll get sub 1 hour, which I believe as well. So, which is good. And my Hyrox long-term goal in 5-10 years, I'll say right now, the aim is obviously to break sub 65 and then eventually sub 60. And then the long-term goal is to be, without a doubt, a world championship like competitor every season, without a doubt. Push to the elites and obviously I believe this could happen, but be the most successful Nigerian African in the Hyrox scene in terms of results, performance, inspiring the people. And I want to see my country in the world champs, but in a team relay. Because obviously I see England, I see every other country, but it'd be nice to have my country representing, so to have Nigeria in a Hyrox scene where we're like doing well will be a blessing as well. And obviously my long-term goal will be an elite 15 athlete, but that takes time. You can't just say it. You got to actually build the accolades, but I believe it will come, and I believe over time, once I get going, I'll be unstoppable.
No, that's awesome. Because I remember one of the first times we met up, I was asking you about that. And that's something you mentioned about like bringing sort of Nigeria into the scene and stuff. And with Hyrox, I follow and study the sport more than anyone I know. And I can't name you, maybe it's a bit of ignorance, but I can't name you a single African elite athlete or even sub-elite athlete. So I think breaking the scene with sort of any African country would just be amazing. Yeah. Sort of bringing that side of the world into the sort of the top level would just be awesome.
100%. I agree 100%. And yes, that's what it's all about, just being yourself and working to the best of your ability to inspire others. And, like I said, I'll still be Team GB if they need me, Team United Kingdom, but obviously you gotta represent as well, you gotta think about what you can do to make an impact as well. So, that's what it's all about.
Maybe I'll start a Cayman Islands team because I've lived here for like longer than the UK, I think. So I've got to somehow bring Cayman into this Hyrox scene in some way. So shout out the whole of Cayman. I'm somehow bringing you to the Hyrox when Nigeria gets there as well.
Yeah. Come on, that's what it's about. Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it for now. I appreciate your time, Alex. Is there anything or anyone you want to just shout out before we get off here, real quick?
Obviously, Acapom helped me, especially my London. They helped me with the accommodation, just being comfortable in the environment, helping me succeed, helping me, because I done 2 races that day. So that weekend, I will say the Open and the Men's Pro, which I both got PBs in. So Acapom and obviously my family that have helped me, supported me, and obviously people that support me in general. I appreciate it all, and more success to come. And yeah, greatness only.
Awesome. And finally, if people want to sort of follow up on this podcast, where can they sort of message you out on Instagram or?
Yeah, so my socials will be obviously Alex Sodje, my name. That's my personal account, but I've got my fitness page where I post weekly. Could be tips, could be videos. Big Man But Ain't 30. You'll find out on TikTok as well, YouTube as well. And yeah, that's what it's all about. We're gonna push for push for greatness next year and help and inspire others. So that's what I post about, and that's what I do.
Awesome. Appreciate your time, Alex. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon.
You can find Alex on Instagram at Alexander Sodje, all one word, Alexander Sodje on Instagram. You can follow him there. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed those interviews. And next week, we have another batch of 3 interviews. We are talking with the 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 Deca Fit Under 24 World Champions. So that is between them AJ Golick again, Jude, and Ethan Deep. So they're all on the show next week. And we also have an interview from Jude with his granddad, my dad, who made his Hyrox debut at 74 years old. And I might need some people's help persuading him to join me in a Hyrox doubles at some point during this year. That's something we need to make happen. So please enjoy those interviews next week and help me put the pressure on my dad. Speak to you soon. Thanks and goodbye.